How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to the KellyCast. If this is your first time here, this is my podcast where we keep you up to date on the latest in the NFL, predictions, Buffalo Bills content, as you can see by the set, and your top games of the week. If you like the shorter form content, I also have a series on here called Instant Reacts. It's a 1-minute YouTube short series where we go through my top games after the week is over, and we kind of discuss what happened, how it happened, and in a quick manner, if that's your kind of style. But I want to thank you for clicking on this video. If this is your first time, please don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe. If you love the NFL, you will love this channel. Now, it's week 5.
Oh my God. You're an idiot.
I think we're getting a sense of who some of these teams are, and some of these teams still have a lot of question marks about them. Today, we're going to go through 4 games that I find the most interesting this week. Of course, not the Buffalo Bills. I do their own video, so stay tuned for that. But we are going to kick things off today with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Chicago Bears. You see the records up on your screen, 1-4, 3-2, Bears playing host in this matchup. Now, Jacksonville got their first win last week, and it was not against an easy opponent. It was up against Joe Flacco. 37-34, the final score. Game goes into overtime. Trevor Lawrence, 28 of 34, 371, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Tank Bigsby goes 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Brian Thomas Jr., the rookie, gets in the end zone 1 time, along with Brenton Strange, I believe the tight end there. Good for Jacksonville, man. They really needed this. In a divisional game, it was a close one. It always is between the Jags and Colts. It doesn't matter how different the teams really are. If it's Peyton Manning on one side and David Garrard on the other, it still doesn't matter. It's a close game because you know each other so well. And I'm happy for Jacksonville, right? I am, in the sense that, you never want to see somebody just lose out, like the Cleveland Browns or like the Detroit Lions before them. Jacksonville's a good team, man. They have a lot of talent on that roster. Lawrence, Davis, Thomas, ETN, right? And the list goes on and on. Happy they got their first win, hoping they can string together a few more. I don't know about them in terms of playoff success this year because of how they've done to start the year. I know their head coach kind of might be on the hot seat. We saw the Jets fire their head coach after a rocky start. I'm not sure if Jacksonville would do the same or not. But this game, very interesting to me because it's really going to be telling you, right, if Jacksonville is going to start picking up some wins or if they're just going to sink back to the bottom where they've been for the past 5 weeks, pretty much. I know they got the 1 win. I get it. I'm changing up the content here a little bit. I think the predictions are not going the way I planned. I don't think people care about it as much as I do, so I'm kind of changing the style of content here to more of an analysis, more of a game preview type of style. If you like that, let me know in the comments down below. It's really hard to get your guys' feedback, so if you could let me know, it would really help. I am, however, going to share my thoughts and my predictions because I think that's why you're clicking on this video, to see my opinions. And I'm going to select the Chicago Bears in this matchup. You ask why? Don't question me. I won last week. I was first place. But seriously, I think Caleb Williams has put things together really well over the past couple of weeks. They beat the Panthers last week 36-10. Caleb Williams misses 9 passes but goes for 300 yards, 2 scores, and no interceptions. Remember, he had a turnover problem early on those first couple weeks. DeAndre Swift, 21 carries, 73 yards. DJ Moore, 5 receptions, 105. Kevin Byard last week with an interception. I don't know. Right now, I just trust the Chicago Bears a little bit more than the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think it could be the Jags. It could be the Jags real easy in this one, and I wouldn't be surprised. But when your back's against the wall, you got to choose somebody, and I'm going with 18 in this matchup. Let's move on to an AFC contest between the Washington Commanders and the Baltimore Ravens. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that the Washington Commanders would be sitting here with a 4-1 record come week 5? Meanwhile, the Baltimore Ravens have had a really tough schedule. They lost the first, 3 weeks of the season. They beat Buffalo, and then last week against Cincinnati, I did that game on Instant Reacts because what a game it was, 41-38 in overtime. Once again, what a performance they had. Never count out the Baltimore Ravens. Never count out John Harbaugh, man. He's a really good football coach. But Jaden freaking Daniels. To anybody who picked him up in fantasy this year, props to you because it's really worked out. I know a couple people who have been banking on his success. But last week they beat the Cleveland Browns 34-13. The final, Jaden Daniels goes 14-25, 238, a touchdown and a pick. He leads the team in rushing, 11 carries, 82 yards. Eckler goes 6 for 67, and Scary Terry 4 receptions, 112 yards. Everybody wants to point to Washington's defense, right, as the weak point. Allowing 13, that's going to help you win some games. 34-13 again, the final there. I'm very impressed with what Jaden Daniels has been able to do. Now, I know everybody had the hype on Caleb, the aforementioned quarterback we just spoke about, but Jaden Daniels making his bid for Rookie of the Year, and I hope he just continues to play well. The NFC East, one of those divisions where usually it's a little back and forth. You see Dallas up at the top, you see Philly up at the top, but we'll talk about Philadelphia in a little bit. They're giving me a lot of question marks in this season, but Jaden Daniels, props to him. Wanted to discuss him just a little bit. Now on to the Baltimore Ravens. Like, we all knew the rushing attack was going to be something else, right? Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry in the backfield, 2 Heisman Trophy winners. And they have 1,056 rushing yards this season. They're the 5th team ever since 1980 with at least 1,000 rushing yards in their first 5 games. So I just wanted to pull up that stat for you just in case you didn't know how well the Ravens were doing in terms of rushing. And how well they're doing in terms of passing. Lamar Jackson threw for 4 touchdowns last week. So anybody who says that he can't throw or he can't play quarterback or he's just a running back, no. Okay? He is a top 5 quarterback in the league. But we do have to get to my thoughts, my predictions on who is going to win this matchup. The Ravens playing host in this one. And I am going to select the Baltimore Ravens. I want to do it. I want to take the Commanders. I think if they get a statement win here against the Ravens, I can be more trustworthy of them. I do think they're a really good football team, but they're going up against a team who has a lot of success, a lot of talent, and a lot of chemistry on that offense in Baltimore. So that's why I'm going to select the Ravens. If you've made it this far, please share with all your friends, your enemies. Moving on here, Cleveland Browns at Philadelphia Eagles. The records here kind of surprised me. 1-4 for the Browns, 2-2 for the Eagles. Just not been impressed with either team. The reason I want to discuss these teams today, mostly for the Browns quarterback, mostly for Deshaun Watson, right? It's such a Cleveland thing to do. And I know I've said it before and we've discussed it, but Deshaun, he is a shell of his former self. His QB rating has been awful all year. And I wonder when Cleveland says, hey, enough's enough. Is it after this season? Is it during the season? Do they think they have the talent to succeed? I know Nick Chubb is going to be coming back real soon. You got a really good defense over there, Myles Garrett. But overall, man, I feel like the Browns are just in a constant need of like a rebuild, right? They need a young quarterback. Deshaun is not cutting it. And for the Eagles, I don't know what's happening. I don't know why they're not gelling. Obviously, they had their bye week already, which early bye week. I would hate to be a team with having that kind of season, having a bye week in week 5 or week 6. It would be real hard. I usually default to the home teams in these kinds of matchups. I know Barkley really good. I don't know if Chubb's playing this week. I should know that, but I do not have that information. I'm going to take the Eagles. Again, I kind of think there's more success on their side, more chemistry, better team overall. If Jalen Hurts can get things going, I know the offensive line has kind of struggled since Jason Kelce retired, but I'm going to take the Eagles. You see Reed Blankenship here in this photo. Props to him. One of the only really good members of the secondary that the Eagles have this season. So let's move on to the next game here. this week. My other top game, my final top game, Detroit Lions, Dallas Cowboys. You see the records again, 3-1, 3-2. Lions had their bye week last week. That's why you see them in that midnight black. What do you guys think of that? I think it looks too much like the Carolina Panthers, in my opinion. But the reason I wanted to discuss these teams, the Detroit Lions, man, I was very, very impressed with them last year. I think a lot of people were. They kind of shocked the world, made it to the playoffs, got that win, and it was great. Things were great for the Detroit Lions. This year, I'm not feeling the same kind of way. I don't know. They're just not. They're not playing the brand of football that I saw them play last year. That head coach Dan Campbell was getting out of them. That fire, that rage, right? That I'm gonna bite your ear off kind of football. And I think they need to get back to it. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys. To me, the Cowboys are the Chiefs of the NFC. And when I say that, I don't mean that, oh, they're the best team in the NFC. I mean that they're going to win games that they don't deserve to win. They are a good team, and come playoffs, we'll see how good they truly are. But during the regular season, I don't think we're going to get a real good scope, at least right now, of what the Dallas Cowboys are. They can't run the football very well, and Dak is being made to win these football games. And for the first time out of these games, I believe, I'm going to select the away team here, the Detroit Lions. I'm a bigger supporter of the Lions. I think they're a better football team. We haven't seen Laporta get going this season. I haven't seen Gibbs and Montgomery, as pictured here, really have a great game. So I'm kind of banking on the fact that I haven't seen it yet. Maybe this is the week that it will happen. If you want to keep up with the KellyCast predictions the way I have been doing for the majority of the season here, visit the Facebook page. That's at the KellyCast, and they will continue. I won last week along with Mitch. But moving forward, we're gonna go away from the predictions here on YouTube. I just don't think you guys like that style of content. But I'm Dan Kelly with the KellyCast. I want to thank you if you watched the video, and I'll be seeing you come Instant Reacts on Monday. Until then, enjoy Week 5 in the NFL. Seahawks and 49ers play tonight, if this video goes up today, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Until then, take it easy.